Hello everybody, welcome to Gist with Comfy. My name is Henry Chizoba.
And I'm Comfort Video.
On today's show, we've been analyzing a lot of things we've been hearing on social media, on Facebook, Twitter, not Twitter actually, because Twitter is actually banned in Nigeria. Facebook, Instagram, and all social media platforms are available. Okay, we're talking about something we titled Sugar Daddy, Sugar Mommy, something
and
like
Sugar
that.
Baby.
Okay, whatever that is.
But before then, hit the subscribe button and the post notification bell so you always get notified when we post any video. When I post any video, because it's my channel.
You've been wondering, how can you see a nice video of this quality and then you not even hit the subscribe button? That is wickedness.
Yeah.
Hit it. Do not bite you. Hit it. That place there.
Yeah.
Ring the bell. That will be telling you when we upload
watch
new
a new
videos.
video,
And
yeah.
you know, stuff like that. It helps boost our morale. I beg, help us. Okay, so on today's show, we want to analyze what, like we said earlier, the social menace is not becoming a menace because it's not rubbing up on the society's face that we are failing as a people. Today we'll be talking about sugar daddy. Okay, we did a brief history to check out what sugar daddy actually means and where it originated from. From our findings, we found out that sugar daddy started sometime in the 19th century, where a certain Mr. Adolf Spreckles, who was supposed to be the heir to the Sugar Spreckles factory or business, and then he married a girl that was 24 years younger than him. So the term sugar daddy came to life because of that. And then fast forward to present day, sugar daddy stands for any man that spends money on any lady for the purpose of sexual interactions and sexual relationship. That's sugar daddy. We also have the sugar mommy, which involves in an elderly or mature woman, female. Now, what the man can do, woman can do better actually. So I think that is why they are doing their own back. But that's being the case, we have the females called sugar mommies, attended to by cougars, young boys that actually have maybe contract sexual relationships with adult women that are older than them.
So having known all of this, the background, so we're just going to tell you guys what led to this video, and that is the current trend about Chidinma Ojukwu, right?
Yes.
Chidinma Ojukwu, which
according
to her, which we know is not. I don't know. We don't know which we feel
is
right not her real name. So the whole Chidinma saga and the sugar daddy. So if you don't know, if you have not heard the gist, Chidinma is a 21-year-old girl of University of Lagos, and she's a mass communication student, 300 level, right?
Yeah, 300 level. So
she, according to her story, she met this man months back, and whatever they are, should I call her love? Did they fall in love?
No, they were in lust.
They fell in lust, and whatever happened, and she murdered the man. That's actually what happened in details. So
yes, she murdered a man named Mr. Ataga Osifo, who is the CEO of Super TV, based in Abuja and also in Lagos. Now, Mr. Ataga is from Edo State and is married to Mrs. Brenda, who is the manager at NNPC, also based in Abuja. They have children. At his age, he was born actually in 1971, June 19th, and then from calculations, was supposed to do his mark his 50th birthday 2 days before he
was murdered.
Yes. So that means to tell you that Mr. Ataga's supposedly to be 50 years was going out with
a 21-year-old girl,
which places both of them on the scale of sugar daddy
and sugar baby.
So now our sugar daddy was in a short-let apartment with his sugar baby with the intent of catching cruise, like we all say it, and then something led to something and something led to something. He died.
He joined his ancestors.
He died. He was murdered.
in cold blood.
Yeah, stories and sources tells us that she, the mother suspect, this is Ms. Chidinma Ojukwu, which we have found that's not to be from Abia State.
As
not
she
to be,
told us initially.
Yeah, and she said it's not, and her mother, according to what we heard, it says she's not from Abia State, and then I don't know. There's
She
much.
says she's from Imo State.
Yeah, I think there's still much more to our. So right now we can't really say this is the story behind Chidinma. We can't really. Chidinma is like anything, because today she's from Abia State, tomorrow she's from Imo State. Possibly
so a whole lot of lies, a whole lot of lies have popped out, or a whole lot of story which we don't just want to start vlogging the ones we don't know. So we're just here to give you our own take on this whole thing. We don't care about whatever is speculating. We're just going to tell you guys the way we feel about this case and what we feel led to this case.
On today's show, we're actually not talking about, like she said, not talking about the whole drama behold, but we're looking at what led to this unfortunate situation by herself. Yeah. So let me ask the question. Today I'm supposed to be the host because I want to dethrone her from her program.
Can't take me away from my throne.
Let's see how that goes.
If at all you think you can take me out, just go down to the comment section and comment if it's possible.
Let's make a poll. Yeah, if you want me to talk about the show, just say it down so well.
How can you leave your own mama?
She's not becoming a sugar mommy. My hands are not there.
No, well, the sugar baby.
Oh, and I'm not the sugar daddy. So
that's right.
That's by the way. Coming to this discussion, what do you think has led to this current societal degradation that has led to us having sugar mommies and sugar daddies? What do you think has led to this?
Okay, first of all, I will say it's greed. I think it's greed because as humans, we always want more. So I feel like from the female angle, maybe she like females that go for sugar daddies, mostly is because they're looking for money. They're just looking for more money, even if they have. They just want to keep upgrading, that kind of thing, and feel among. So I'll blame it on greed. And I feel from the men's angle too, it could also be greed because they are not contented with their wives and they just feel okay, the younger ones will be better. So I just think greed is the major thing in this whole, like from the two perspectives.
I think she's speaking from the side of a lady. Let me speak from the side of a man. I think why we have sugar daddies is because now this might be a very long, if you should delve into the crux, the root of the whole matter, it can take us a long time to, but we're going to focus on this from just the surface level.
Yeah.
Why we have sugar daddies and sugar mommies and sugar babies is because, like she said, people are greedy. And we have now gotten to the point where people no longer consider being morally sound as something to achieve. We have lost it in a lot of areas. Most ladies are attracted to people to more, because nowadays we find out that women are attracted to money.
Yeah.
Most guys want to have a good or decent relationship with a lady, but because he does not have the resources, the lady indirectly might say she likes the man, but the man is being put in the pressure to make money so he can take care of the lady. So when this is not happening, the ladies tend to go to people that can meet their temporal needs. And then the men too, having found out that maybe as a man, the wife is no longer looking sexy, no longer looking like she was looking before, baby, because she now has children, she's not distracted from him, and then the man needs attention, because men need attention. Any sane man will need attention. As much as we are grown, we still need attention from our wives, maybe even our mothers. Now, because he is not getting this attention, he may tend to go for a sugar baby.
Yeah.
Most importantly, because of the fact that he needs to have, because men want to just have. It's not like men are built for but men have more tendencies to want to have than women. Okay, so if she's not getting it, because the primary aim of this whole sugar mommy thing is not because they want to make babies or get married. They just want to just have sex.
Yeah.
That's just the plain truth. So men want to have sex. Maybe the wives at home are not giving them the sex they are looking for. So they opt for a lady that can actually offer them that kind of thing.
Just temporary.
Now, because of the fact they don't want to go to a prostitute's house, it might decide to get a lady to avoid maybe STDs and all that. To get a lady that they can be going out with whenever they need to. I think that's why we have. I think because I'm not. Don't have experience of that. I think that's why they want to have sugar daddy.
Then, from the angle of the females, like, why do you think, like, what do you think leads to young women always having to, aside from the money aspect, do you think there's another thing, like, what makes them to be exposed to the sugar daddy thing? Is it that the parents are not taking good care of them from infants, like, maybe they're not exposed to wealth and they need more, or is it that they're not training them well? What do you think, like, from the angle of the parents and caregivers and morals and peers, what do you really think is contributing to making the younger ones, like the females now, to tend to go to sugar daddies?
Well, I think the reason why ladies have sugar daddies is because the men will not let them to be.
So you feel the men are the ones pursuing them?
Yes. Why do I say this? It's because if a man does not approach a lady for anything, the lady will not just go to the man of that nature, of that caliber.
But some people do it.
No, you cannot. It's going to be difficult for a lady to just walk up to a rich man and say, "I want to be your sugar baby," or try to seduce the man.
Yeah,
okay, because now if the man has his morals right, he wouldn't want to look away from his wife to a lady, because most of these sugar daddies are actually way older than their sugar babies. They are much like the case we have like a 29 years gap in the whole thing, and then if he got married at 29, his daughter would have been 21
obviously,
or 20. So which means that it's the men that cause this sugar daddy thing. You will see a lady walking on the street and a man who would want to be his father will be telling her, "Hey, it's my color, babe, come, what's up?" And then the man is bringing himself to the point where that lady can easily walk up to him and tell him anything. Okay, so for me, why I think our ladies are corrupt like this to this extent is because the men are corrupt.
So you feel the men play a major role in making the females to go into this kind of life?
Yes, I've even seen, I think I've watched in movies or something like that, these men actually lure these ladies with these things because number one, women like flashy things.
But I personally think that the females too are also involved in this thing.
Yes,
right?
that's like you've already said before. Some men are not, some men are greedy. Okay, some men don't have, some men even have good morals.
Because if they call you number one, you can equally say you don't want to go.
Yes, of course.
Or if they bring flashy things, you can equally just reject.
Yes.
But in a situation that you accept, you are giving the person green light to continue the chase.
Yes, of course. If the man is constantly giving you flashy gifts and you are accepting the flashy gifts, and you, like most people, they'll tell you that he's just being generous. And I'll tell you for free that no man gives any lady anything for free. I'm telling you, there is no man on planet Earth that gives any woman anything generally for free. There's always going to be something attached to it. Maybe you might have few men that actually give like chivalrously because they are men, just give out to ladies and without any strings attached. But in our generation, there is no man right now that will actually give a lady any gift without having an ulterior motive to it.
It's very rare.
Very, very rare. Okay, so that being said, I think the moral of the story right now is that we have a generation of men that have lost it.
Yeah.
I want to be very straight up to the men. I have been saying this, I think those that follow me on Facebook and all that, I've been saying it, that the day men begin to see women as not a prize to be won and not a trophy to be chased, then we begin to see women for what they really are meant to be. They're supposed to be our help, meet, supportive people. They're supposed to be women are more powerful than men.
Of course, strength of a woman. Isn't a woman that did that? Maybe a lady that did that. Strength of a woman.
Samson was destroyed by a woman.
Of course.
So our friend Ataga was destroyed by a woman too, because
Chidinma.
they get you with they will get you now. Please, you must be okay. And they will get you with what you want, what you really lost after. That's what the devil or the enemy or people will be able to get you with. Yeah. They will get you with what you are really attracted to. Now I want to speak to the men. The men should sit up. Like now, I wouldn't like to see my sister on TV for this kind of negative story. I'd like to see my sister on screen or anywhere around a full-bodied old man. I don't know, for what are you doing there? I won't even accept my sister marrying someone that's like 10, 20 years. I wouldn't. This is my own personal opinion. She might, if it's God's will, if she thinks she's okay with a man that is older than her by that distance of an age, and the man is not married before and does not have any kids before, no problem. That is your problem. Fine, go ahead. It's love that we're talking about. We're talking about purpose too. But then, if these men would actually take women to be what they're supposed to be, helpmates, we'll not have this issue of having sugar babies and having side chick. Because to handle a woman alone, as a married man, I'm not married, but I know that handling a woman alone is often difficult.
Yeah.
I mean, I have female friends around me, and I know that sometimes you're wondering how they reason. They reason wonderfully, beautiful reasoning, but then sometimes it's difficult to really understand the woman, because nobody can ever understand the woman. So to us men, let us upgrade the way we see our women. Let's not see them as sex tools and sex objects. These women are, if I want to go to the spiritual level of things, women are what they call portals. They are gates. Now, the rich man, the rich man was born by a woman. The poor man was born by a woman. Now, the reason why the woman has more influence on the man is because of the fact that no matter how much the man wants to be a man, he went through a woman's body. He came from a woman's body and stayed with the woman for a long time. So there's this affinity for the man and the woman. And the woman is there to support the man. And not because now why the woman was being down with a man is because the man has lost value for himself. That means said by means of a warish woman, a man is brought to a piece of bread. That's to show you that women are very powerful. Then when we begin, let the men begin to see women as weapons they can use to stop evil. I don't know if I'm trying to put it very well so that we get the main point. Men should use women, not use them for negativity, but men should learn to use women for positive things. Let our men stop chasing women. As difficult as this will sound, it is better to marry one. Focus on her. Establish a family with her. Deal with all her issues and manage her properly. Having a second one, to the point of having a third one, can be destructive.
It might lead you to your early grave.
Just like we have. Okay? Now, if this man was minding his business, tending to his family, he wouldn't have been dead by now. Okay, so the women are powerful people, like I've been saying. Let the men understand this and use that power to build a better society.
Okay, so for the ladies out there, I also like to talk to the ladies, especially the young ones. Try and be contented with what you have. Like whatever your parents can afford, just be contented, and not when you go out you see your peers like doing things and you just want to feel among, because most of these things are happening is the quest to feel among. Let me just wear the latest shoes, designer clothes, and I can't just get this because of the background I'm coming from. I have to meet all the sugar daddy's thing. So I just think we should, as females, just try and be contented and look at yourself as something that you cannot just you're supposed to look at yourself as a precious thing, not something that you just walk around and you just give in to anybody you see on the street, somebody that is old enough to be your dad. You just walk around just for money. No, you are not a commodity. So I just feel the females should actually just see themselves as precious gifts, not just commodity. And I think with this we'll be able to cut down on all this crisis that is happening here and there. And another thing I would like to add is this issue of drugs. I think most things that people do, they do it under the influence of alcohol or like substances in general. So I just feel the youths, because nowadays it's more rampant among the youths that they just have to take in something, and most of these things that they do, they can't do it with their normal senses. They just have to be under the influence of all these things. So I feel we should also cut down on substance use and alcoholism generally.
Yeah, from a final thoughts from my own side, I think the men should stop corrupting our girls. I was talking to one man one time. The man said, there is no girl that is not corrupt.
Really?
Yes. I told her, I was telling her, because a little girl passed, and then they were like trying to, I was saying, how are they trying to spoil this child? Then the man said, no girl for Nigeria when they last spoiled. All this song, no small girl, his words were, there is no small girl like again. I'm like, how? Now, as it's happening like that because the men are the one actually doing that to the ladies, and these girls just want to be happy, just want to grow. Like the normal affinity for male and female association, but then it is when the guy begins to introduce things like sexual thoughts into the words into the girl's mind. She begins to think, what does that mean? Now she may be having reactions on her body on how maybe because of her as she's growing, you know. Then if the man is not guided properly, he will take advantage of her discovery of her body and then teach her the wrong things. So I always say these things. If the men see these ladies for what they are and for who they are capable of becoming, they will not misuse women. I know, of course, there are some ladies that for me, I don't think any lady will just wake up and go and introduce a man. I think
some people do it.
even if they do,
but it's
because
like the percentage is low.
Yeah, that's but there's a cost. There's a reason to it. It started from somewhere. The lady will not just do it because wants to go and do it. She must have seen. Maybe a guy may have come to her before now to corrupt her mind. Because I know that if you grow a lady, she grows. I'm sure if she grows up without the influence of men coming to ask her for things, she may not be asking questions like, "What is this? What will happen if I do this?" You get what I'm saying? So the man actually is supposed to be the first-hand teacher. That is why you see that when we have a bad society, it's because the men are not properly trained. Everybody is advising the lady, even a man is advising a lady, an old man advising a lady, but nobody is advising the men. So the man grows up to discover that he has a and they can just do it to any lady, and then she does anything can happen. They just learn these things without having any form of guidance. So that's why I said the chunk of the work is on the man child. We talk about the girl child a lot. Nobody is looking out for these boys. These boys that grow up to become men and become sugar daddies. It's from when they were small. Nobody taught them that manhood is not marrying many women, having the sexual escapades left, right, and center, and everywhere. We should begin to work on the man child.
Now I agree with you on that. So there is more work to be done too on the males, not only the females, because most of the time the men feel like they have the rights, like we are men, we are head, like
to control everything.
Yes,
you know?
We can get a lot of women and stuff, and which is not right. So I think parents who have a lot of work to do, train up your children, the male child too, not just the females. Make them understand that ladies are not just things they can use, and So yeah, this is just basically what we had for you guys today.
Yep. That's what we came to tell you today. We just want you to begin to see things from another perspective. There's a cause for everything.
Yeah.
What happened to Mr. Ataga and Miss Chidinma is not something that
we just
started from one 4 months, because they said it was 4 months ago they met and all that. But then they're talking about the roots. They're talking. This is one out of the Chidinmas and Mr. Ataga that we have. Let's just leave it there. Let's just leave it there, because this is the one that we know, the one that we see, and that led to somebody's death.
And a lot of all these things are happening, but just because it's not coming to media, we don't know. So, and some of you watching this video right now, you guys you have a sugar daddy somewhere, and some sugar daddies know, but because your one did not come to light, don't feel you are safe. So, just this video should just make you to rethink.
Well, I'll close with this. There is no fun in living your life recklessly.
Yeah.
That's number one. Number two, you don't own your life. Because if you do own your life, you will not be where you are right now. You would have planned out your life by yourself, and you definitely not be looking for money. You already have money because you own your life. But then because you do not own your life, you need to work according to the plan that the owner of that life gave you. Most importantly is for you to have a conscience. And you cannot have a conscience in a dead society. You can only have a conscience when your heart has been turned to God. Should I preach? I don't think I want to preach, but I want to just give an advice. Without having a conscience, you cannot go anywhere in society. We need to have a relieved conscience. Our conscience should be reawakened to the degradation that we are facing. It may not be you today.
Yeah.
It may not be your uncle today or your father today. It may be your brother or your sister next year, or your children in the future. Why? Because we failed on our own path to train ourselves the way we want to be trained. So please, young men, I speak to you mostly, men, please, let us begin to value our women and see them for what they are capable of doing. They're capable of doing better. When you give a woman a sperm, she gives you a child. When you give her peace, she gives you a home. When you give her the things, anything you give a woman, she multiplies it back to you. So you need to begin to see that these women that are committing crimes here and there is because of what we gave to them.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, as a last final word, I would just like to say, I think we should also try to have self-control, because it's also very important. Like, in as much as if you don't, all these things that we're talking, like you've already said, I think self-control is actually needed to be able to help us in whatever we're doing. So this is just what we came out to tell you guys today, and I hope you enjoyed the video, because we actually enjoyed making this video.
We actually did. There's no drink to.
Yeah, there's no drink.
But,
so
after we want to drink, we'll be drinking after. Not the kind of drink that the children
smoke.
No, not smoke. You can see my shirt is everything Jesus already, so there is no room for smoking or drinking.
Yeah, we
want
don't
to just
do
go
that.
and
We don't do that.
eat good food, and I like to eat food a lot.
We like to eat food. Maybe we'll do mukbang one of these days, so you'll be eating on camera.
Eating on camera. Well, I'm just the host of today's show, by God's grace. Alright, nice.
So if actually you want to see more videos, if you actually want to see our guests, because he's actually the guest, not the host. So if actually want to see our guests more often on the channel, just go down to the comment section and drop your comments, and subscribe to our channel, drop the comments there, and see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Bye.